listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. Double episode week. This is the first of the two. AEW Dynasty review is coming up, but your boy is freshly 24 years old, and we've got about 24 hours of wrestling to break down this week. So let's just skip all the BS, get right into it. I'm one half of your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, he is Mr. Slam, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, and he's got his sicko hat on. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, we made it through another pay-per-view, and we got a lot of wrestling to talk about this week. We got a lot of wrestling to watch this week, and I don't want to delay it any longer. Let's just get into it. AEW Dynasty.
Yeah, so this is AEW's, second pay-per-view of the year? Because Revolution was March, and then this is April's pay-per-view for them. I know that they added something else. I think they are trying their dangdest to get to a full 12 pay-per-view year, but we'll see what happens. They got spring breakthrough or whatever this week. But for AEW Dynasty, we were in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, in the Rogers Arena. Listed attendance 9,136. And they opened the show up with some pre-show matches that we'll run through real quick. I won't have any comments. Ryan, did you see any of these?
I didn't know there was a pre-show, any pre-show matches, bro. They didn't advertise it until like the day of.
Yeah, well, see, that's the crazy thing. You know, we did the predictions. I believe it was last Tuesday. And in that meantime, the card had, I think I had 4 to 5 main card matches. And
yeah, 5 matches.
And by the end of it, it had 8. But
by the end of Tuesday or by the end of our show?
By the end of Wednesday from that. Well, no, they probably added some on Collision too. I couldn't tell you, but
I think they did. Was it 13 matches altogether?
Yeah, in total.
Jeez.
But starting us off on the pre-show, we had Alex Windsor defeated Marina Shafir. Fall from grace that was. Camille versus
pre-show?
Yeah, Marina Shafir did.
Wow. That's crazy. They were building her up, wasn't they?
Yeah, she just was in a year-long feud with Tony Storm. Camille returned and defeated Big Ann.
Wait, who?
Camille.
Who's that other person?
Big Ann. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page or anything.
Okay.
Shout out her.
Yeah, I saw Camille came back, but I don't think it's any coincidence that she, we talked about that on I think it was last week's pod or the week before. So somebody's listening, Micah. We mentioned, where's Camille? There she was.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll have her do.
American Gladiator is back too. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, maybe Wardlow's on the way back too. But for the AEW National Championship, we've got Jack Perry defeating Mark Davis, another guy they've been building up, who just shoveled for old Jungle Jack.
Get him out of here.
And for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship, Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne, and Lena Cross defeated Hyen and Maya World.
Who is that?
They are the two ladies that got signed whenever the two ladies... we actually talked about them earlier
Yeah, we talked about that off here. Yeah. All right. Shout out them.
Yeah,
doing the JOB.
Notice, by the way, 3 women's matches on the pre-show. 1 women's match on the main card.
What?
Interesting.
That can't be. I thought they were the best women's division in the world, Mike.
Well, they sure don't treat them like it. But we move on to the main card to start us off. Fan favorites here on the podcast: the Young Bucks versus Takeshita and Okada.
Match went on forever.
It was a total of 19 minutes, 55 seconds. The Young Bucks picked up the win. And I wrote initially after seeing, I made a video about it as well. Seeing them do that little tumble handspring, I don't even know what you call it. I don't know my gymnastics routine, but handhold moonsault to the outside. I said the Bucks are back in full form with that.
Yeah. Was that your favorite spot of the match, Mike, or was it the 5-minute tombstone hold into a Meltzer driver? Did you like that one?
Well, that or, whenever the one guy went to do the German suplex and then another guy comes up behind him to do the German suplex and then another guy does a flipping Canadian destroyer over all three guys and has the power to move them all.
I'm sure that finished the match, right?
No. That's just an indie show spot.
Oh, okay. We go on for another 10 minutes after that.
Yeah, for a positive from this match, I did kind of get cracked up whenever Okada put on the Young Bucks gear and then went for like the hot tag in the corner. That did kind of pop me a little bit, but I think that's really the only highlight of this because at the end of the day, and I say this every time with these Bucks matches, and I'm gonna keep saying it until something changes, just make it a tornado tag.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that is impossible for them, but it just instead you make freaking Rick Knox, and he don't need any help looking like an idiot, but it makes him look like an idiot when he's not counting and they're just in the ring forever. I cannot understand why it's like this all the time. Because I complimented them at Revolution because I thought they had a good match with FTR that for the most part went by the rules. So they show the capability to do so and just choose not to.
That's what the fans want to see, man. They want to see. They don't want to see the tag rules enforced. They want to see the Young Bucks do what the Young Bucks do, what they've been doing for the last 11 or 12 years, and that's do their, sing, song and dance, do a lot of flips, kick out a lot of moves, and hit that little posy pose they do. Hey, man, you know what? Them building up that Takeshita Okada thing, it's been going on way too long for my liking. How long they been simmering this? Like a year and a half?
Feels like it.
Yeah, why did pulling the trigger this late in the game, man? I'm not as interested as I was just a year ago of this because they've been teasing this for a long time.
Well, not only that, but I don't really care for Okada a whole lot myself. But like with Takeshita, it's just been okay. Maybe this is the chance, and then they never do anything with him. Okay, maybe this is the chance, and
even if Takeshita does beat Okada 3 times in a row, let's just give him that, which I don't think he will. But even if that happened, where does he go from there? It seems like he's reached his ceiling there in AEW. He's not going to be a top main event level act because they had momentum with him when he beat Omega 2 years ago. I think he beat him twice. And they just never did anything with him. They kept him in the Don Callis family for another 2 years. And now they're doing this Okada and Takeshita thing, but it just feels too little too late for this guy. And you just know if he does beat Okada, he's not going to progress any farther than where he is right now.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? He'll get it's not the Continental, is it the International that Okada has? Like that's his ceiling because and we're going to talk about this a little later as well. It's the same thing of just not having or not being able to speak English always sucks when you're trying to translate to that next main event level. But it shows a need for true wrestling managers, and they're splitting him up from Don Callis, which I'm not necessarily disagreeing with because I don't think Don Callis is a great manager like some people, but all he needs would be to have a great mouthpiece to talk for him, and he could probably get to the main event, but that just doesn't
Yeah,
exist anymore.
like a Heyman type. I
Oh
did
yeah,
get I did get a kick out of. I don't know if you've seen the segment on. I think it was Dynamite where Don Callis had a backstage segment with Okada and Takeshita, and he compared them to Scotty and Michael Jordan. And then Okada just walks up to Takeshita and says, "I'm Michael, you're Scotty." And then Takeshita, it's like he just insulted his mother, and he just went at it with him. I don't know. I
now
got a
we've
kick
gone too far.
out. You've gone too far.
Yeah.
They've gone Michael and Scotty, Micah in this match. Now they're Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. Gotta love it.
Well, to finish this out, I said, it's the same thing every time. Just move spam constantly. Somehow the guy that's always in the 1-on-2 situation powers up and gets the upper hand. Tony Schiavone makes the inside of his pants sticky, talking about, "Oh my god, look at this amazing sequence. These guys are just amazing." Like, oh my god, he is so annoying.
Yeah,
Professional glazer.
they had him out there the whole night too. Like you got 5 other commentators, man. Rotate them out.
He's the worst out of the 5. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was there. The Young Bucks pick up the win, beating Okada and Takeshita. They had a nuanced
Yeah.
finish where Takeshita holds the leg, but then realizes he doesn't want to do that and he wants Okada to lose.
Mm. They're building up the Young Bucks for that inevitable TLC match with Edge and Christian Cope and Christian. I'm sorry, and FTR. I'm sure at Wembley because you know that's where it's going. That's where it's going.
I haven't even thought about that, but you're so
Oh yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. That's where it's going, pal.
Because they're gonna try and outdo the WrestleMania 17 and all them, and all fun will be had for all.
Mm.
But following that, in 14 minutes and 10 seconds, we had Ricochet versus Chris Jericho, or maybe just Jericho.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't know, but Wikipedia has him listed as just Jericho.
Just Jericho.
Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe that's it. I don't know, but either way, I talked about this a little bit with you off the air. I have a soft spot for the Demand. I don't know why. I like them. I like Ricochet. I know you're not a fan,
What?
but
You like Ricochet?
I don't think Ricochet is like world championship material, but I don't know. I like the little hand thing. I like the I demand you throw it up. Like, I don't know. It kind of works for me, brother.
Mhm. Like he does a little hand gesture, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we like here. Hand gestures,
Like
hype moments, and aura.
okay. Not from him.
He ain't got no aura.
And not at all. Negative aura. Did you see in the press conference at the end of the press scrum where Tony Khan was asked about Ricochet's antics online?
Oh, I'm very shocked that he even allowed that question to go through.
Well, it went as you would expect. He just danced around it and said that he had a talk with Ricochet, even though the reports that came out after the incident says that nobody in AEW said anything to Ricochet about it.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. People don't get disciplined unless they actually lay their hands on somebody there.
Supposedly, Chris Hero stepped in and told him to take it down or something to that effect. I don't know, but yeah, he just kind of danced around the subject and just basically said how grateful he was that the question was being asked and how much that AEW Dynasty was the best pay per view they've ever done. And stuff like that, the usual presser that they do after the pay per views.
Yeah, sounds like I didn't miss much. But as far as the match goes, when Jericho finally hit the lion salt, he got a pretty big pop on that. I think that the Canadian crowd was honestly rocking for him a little bit. It was early in the show as well, so obviously that helped. I don't think that this was like a masterclass by any means, but I do think that this was a solid contest, and I didn't know what to expect with Jericho. Now, respectfully, I put a lot of that on Ricochet's back because he was, having to do most of the legwork here. But as far as the individual moves and stuff go, I thought there was a really cool code breaker sell here by Ricochet because normally you see the guys pop back up and they fall over backwards. With Ricochet, he just basically immediately went limp. I believe it was the first code breaker. I thought that was a good sell that you don't see often.
Yeah, it was alright. It was there.
And then they also had a shooting star press code breaker, which was pretty perfectly timed. I thought that also looked well, and I really liked the ending here. Ricochet picked up the win. It's weird because Jericho just returned, but to me, I felt like you kind of had to have Ricochet win here. I don't think it does Jericho any favors to win, and if Ricochet had lost, I mean, where does he go then? I also suspect that this will not be the last time we see this matchup.
Crazy, bro. The last 4 years of AEW, everybody in the fan base, the AEW sickos, please retire Jericho. He's super washed. He can't do it anymore. Get him out of here. But 3 months of WWE return speculation, and then he comes back to AEW, and all of a sudden, Monk still got it. How do you like the low rise pants of one Jericho, Micah?
I think he needs to find out who was doing his gear in like 2002. Link back
It
up to
adds
them.
maybe it adds like an extra drama element to his matches because you don't know whether or not you're going to see the crack of Jericho in the match. That's some great ring psychology, pal.
The walls are breaking down.
Who won this match? Ricochet?
Ricochet did pick up the win, which I thought was a
Ricochet.
good decision.
It's his first pay per view match in a while, too.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Jericho, so it's a name that he went over on. But following that, one that I was pretty excited for, because
Lived up
our
to
guy Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade was excited. We got Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. This went 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Whoever won would receive an AEW World Championship match. Or no, I don't think it was whoever won. I think it was...
No, it was just Darby if he won. Like, Andrade was just there. Lose for him.
Yeah, which is just a stupid situation. Just call it a number one contenders match, and it would have made more sense. Because what if Andrade won?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
But I thought bell to bell, this had the potential to be one of the best matches. Andrade to me is one of the best in the world right now. In ring, he's one of my favorites in AEW. But with Darby, I don't know, Ryan. I don't feel like I've always felt like this because Darby used to be one of my guys here, but
he's cold.
Is he just? Yeah, he's
cold. Yeah,
I've seen it all.
Yeah, he's really cold right now. I think he missed his window when he went off to go climb Mount Everest. I think right before that, that's where he was at his peak as far as popularity wise. And now in the 6-year history of AEW, he's never been as cold as he is right now. And he's getting a world title shot.
Yeah. And that's tomorrow.
Yeah. And
Or today by the time you guys hear this.
I don't think anybody wants to see it. Like, why not have Andrade here, man? He's got all this momentum, got a new gimmick, new character, and he's been putting out some of the best matches we've seen all year has been with Andrade.
Yeah.
And you can't just ride the wave of momentum. It's the same thing with the Brody King situation last month or the month before. When the guy has so much momentum and you don't go with that guy, I don't know. It just feels like a missed opportunity.
I think that's a very common thread in AEW. It's like if somebody gets over on their own, a lot of times they don't know what to do with them. They just continue to push their guys. Like a Ciampa, for instance. You know, he was getting over, and they were like, oh, no, let's give the belt back to Kyle. Which, that's fine. Kyle's a younger guy. I think he's going to have a bright future. But it just, the booking logic doesn't make sense to me. And I agree with you. I think at one time, a flash AEW World Championship win, you know, for a month or two would have been fine. But at this point, I don't even really care to see MJF and Darby.
No. I agree. And it's such a quick turnaround, too.
Yeah. The week, like the follow-up show of Dynamite.
Yeah.
But as far as the in-ring stuff went, I thought Darby doing that dive into Andrade's rope taunt was a cool spot. Something you haven't seen before.
Yeah, that was crazy.
There's really no good way for either guy to take it. Pause.
Oh. Yeah, man. Darby, he's a wild man. He just throws his every time I watch his matches, I just feel like he's one bump away, man. He has no regard for his life at times. Like, there was a suicide dive he hit early in that same match, and I thought, man, he's gonna break his back. He's gonna break his neck. There's no safe way to take that when you're going 30 miles per hour hitting the rope, and Andrade just barely getting clipped by Darby, and Darby taking the full impact on his shoulders. Ouch.
Same with that drop kick on the stairs. Like, it really
That was
served
stupid.
no purpose.
Yeah, that was stupid, man.
At one
God
point,
bless
and
him.
yeah, you know, shout out him, but like, for what reason? Is anybody going to remember that a month from now? And I know you can't apply that logic to everything, but I don't know. I don't really like the out of arena brawls anyways, but yeah, that was just.
For a guy that doesn't like to be known for his death-defying stunts, he sure does a lot of them in his matches.
Yeah. Makes me like, I remember when Drew did that Claymore kick or whatever and landed on the steel stairs. I was just like, oh Jesus, you know, that was bad enough. But concrete?
You see that Chris Van Fleet interview with Darby, where like Chris brought up that people compare him to Spike Dudley as far as like the bumps goes, and he got so offended by that.
Really?
Yeah, he was really
Why?
offended. He said that he's like 10 times the wrestler Spike Dudley was, and he could out wrestle 90% of the roster. And just, I don't know, man. He just seemed like I gotta watch my words here. Just seemed like a guy you don't really want to have a drink with after the show, you know? Just seemed a little pretentious and narcissistic. Like, bro, just take the compliment. Jesus.
But also, like, I don't know, are they wrong? Because I feel like this is one that I feel like him and Andrade could have had they could have had a good bell to bell in ring contest, and instead, the only thing anybody's going to talk about is spots like this.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm behind you, but I don't know. That's his style. That's what he's known for. Just embrace it, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see you be Daniel Bryan. You got to be what you're known for. Do the death-defying stuff. Lean into it. Why not?
I'd say it's what got him this far. Like, you can't say he got this far because of his technical ability. Like, everybody loves him because he does the stupid stuff. So,
Well, he
I
did
mean,
get
you kind of signed it.
he got a break by being Sting's little buddy for like 2 years too.
Well, yeah, but remember they sent him through that sheet of glass in Sting's retirement match.
They did send him through that.
So, but I also thought that there was a moment where it was kind of like a avalanche fall away slam. I guess
I
that
didn't understand.
Darby,
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I don't know what you would call it, but he reversed it into a crossface. I thought that there was little margin for error because Andrade nearly landed on his head. He might have a little bit, but I thought it was a crazy spot, and it did get a big pop. But I feel like something like that should be the finish because the people were up huge after that.
But didn't it seem like Darby got the worst of that?
Yeah, I guess to an extent. I mean, Andrade did kind of land on his head.
But then Darby landed full force on his back.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think there was a good way for either guy to take that.
I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand who got. I didn't know what happened there.
But yeah, as far as the match goes, I thought it was a little underwhelming to me. I expected to be a little more blown away, just especially because of what Andrade has been able to do this year, and it just kind of felt. I mean, it was good, you know what I mean, but it was like a 3-star.
I
Like
liked it.
that's really all I would leave it as.
I liked it. I liked it probably the most out of any match on this card, but I just didn't understand the finish, especially with a roll up. Like hitting all those death defying moves and then ending the match on a roll up. That's just always leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
I don't mind it if it's done sparingly, but this to me was
They
not
do it
the
all the
right
time.
time.
They do a lot of roll up finishes in AEW. You notice that? Like they try to
'Cause
protect
nobody wants
every.
to.
Yeah, nobody wants to lose. So nobody wants to tap out. Nobody wants to lose. So everybody, all the top stars just get rolled up. That's how they circumnavigate that. Just have them
Yeah,
get rolled up.
or they pass
Like
out because nobody wants to tap out.
isn't that Tony Storm's finisher? The roll up.
I think she did have some type of special name for it, but
Small package,
yeah.
big package. I don't know.
Oh, Andrade was giving him the small package.
Hey, now come on.
But Darby defeated Andrade El Idolo in 16 minutes and 30 seconds. So this Wednesday, Dynamite Spring Breakthrough will have Darby Allin versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Following that, the dream match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, FTR versus Cope and Cage.
Didn't they have this already? We
Did
had
they?
this. I think they did. This is the second match, ain't it?
I don't think they did. I thought this was the first match because last month they fought the Young Bucks.
Okay. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Dream match.
In Canada. And I think we both predicted Edge and Christian to come out on top in this one. The fans were very into this. Obviously, Edge and Christian being home country guys. There was a little bit of a slow start, but I thought it eventually picked up. I did enjoy this more than the Bucks match. I mean, that's not exactly a high bar to jump over. But once they got going, I thought it was pretty solid. There was a couple nitpick things I have. Christian at one point went to break up a pin, and you could see him run around the ring as Dax, I believe it was setting up for the pin. and he grabs Stokely and throws Stokely in to break up the pin,
Oh yeah,
which
that sucked.
it was a fine spot, I think, to a certain degree, but the camera angle they shot it with just kind of, one, spoiled the surprise, but two, looked really hokey because why would you like keep running to throw this guy in when you could just go in and break it up yourself?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I just thought about how ridiculous the actual action would be to throw a guy in there to break up the pin.
Yeah, and I feel like there was
Like,
a
how
better way to
strong is Christian?
execute it. Like, well, he'd be planking. It's all that core. But like, had Stokely been on the apron or something, I could more buy that if he like threw him over. But yeah, it was a little hokey. I thought FTR to be better than this, but towards the end, they really let it go and just started letting everybody in the ring. And FTR, to me, at times felt like they were both in the ring for stretches of like 3 to 5 minutes. No tags, no nothing. Just going through the spots. And ultimately, FTR did pick up the win, and I was very shocked about that. Which now, like you said, what it could be potentially building towards, that does make sense. But in the moment, I definitely thought Cope and Cage were taking the AEW World Tag Team Championship home.
It felt a little self indulgent with the kick out of the title shot. Like Cope got clobbered with the title belt. It busted him up open hard way, which I don't have a problem with because this is a blood feud. They pile drove his wife. Okay, well, that if there's one match that needs blood on the card, is that one. But if you're gonna take a belt shot, let it be the finish, or just don't do the belt shot at all.
Yeah, I can agree to that. And I did he kick out or did somebody break it
He
up? I don't
did.
even
No,
remember.
he kicked out. Kicked out. That's why I say it got a little self indulgent, man. Like, come on, man. A title belt shot where you get busted open hard way. I mean, you could see it when they showed the
Yeah.
replay. It looked good, but he kicks out.
So what was it
Why does
worth?
he kick out, Micah? You might ask. I don't know. It looked cool.
Fighting spirit. Have you never heard of adrenaline, pal?
Adrenaline. I guess I never. Okay. All right.
I know in your line of work you probably don't ever do anything like that would require you to have adrenaline. So you probably don't even know what it is, but I do. That's a
Fighting
real
spirit.
comment I saw today, by the way.
Is he a shoot fighter? He's doing those judo competitions with Moxley.
I guess.
All
No,
right.
well, that's Invisible Man and Invisible Stan, isn't it?
I think Sandman's getting involved in that.
Oh Lord. I forgot that is this week. Yeah,
Are we
we
gonna
may
watch
make a
that?
joke about it, but I don't think we're reviewing it.
Nah, it might be on the chopping block.
But yeah, FTR retains. Were you shocked to see that, or did you kind of expect it considering what you've kind
No,
of
no, I was
hypothesized?
no, I was shocked, especially because at this point in the show, no Canadians had won anything. So having Edge and Christian lose in Canada was a choice. But if they're gonna go the route that I'm thinking they're gonna go in, it made the most sense. However, I will say that they they pile drove a man's wife, and then the man comes back 6 months stewing on it, and then he loses in his revenge match. That's I don't know about that.
Which is funny because normally it's the other way around with Edge. But I don't know. It
Yeah,
seems like he wins the ones he shouldn't, and he loses the ones he should.
he only loses to the guys he likes. Couldn't do that, at Ricky Starks. Couldn't have that.
Oh no, you
Uh-uh.
you vanilla midget version of The Rock. So shut up and talk to him, kid. Oh my god.
Going down a rabbit hole.
But We can move on to the next match in a 10-man casino gauntlet match for the vacant
I'm
AEW
just not having
TNT
fun.
Championship.
I'm just not having fun in this show, man. I don't know if you can tell. I didn't like this show very much.
It just felt paint by the numbers. Like out of the what we've talked about, this is going on our 5th match now.
Yeah.
I think I would agree the Darby Andrade match was probably the best out of the 5, but it still did not blow me away. And I mean, we've
Yeah.
had 1.5 stinkers because I count the Bucks match as a stinker. And then this Casino Gauntlet match is just rotten. They need to drop this concept. And it doesn't really pick up any more towards the back half of the show. But regardless, listen, man, the Casino Gauntlet stuff is so overdone. It's so nonsensical. Just do a battle royale because it builds the anticipation more because you're still getting the big entrance pop, but you also get the pops with like the final 2, the final 3, he's almost eliminated, but almost not. Like a battle royale is just better to me because of the little stuff like that. With this, you're just popping for the entrances, and then like, yeah, you're wondering when it's going to be over, but I don't know. I don't love this concept,
No,
especially.
the concept's good if they do it sporadically, but it seems like they have like 7, 8, sometimes like 9 in a calendar year. Just seems like it's a lot.
Well, not only that, with like again, I don't love it, but it would be fine. Can we get like a flash pin? Can we get like there's only 3 guys out here and then the match is over that early? Just to give us some like unpredictability with it. Then maybe I'll be a little more locked in, but it's like until I know everybody's out there, everybody's going to get their shine. Everybody gets to get on the card.
And did we
Uh,
need every Death Rider in this match?
well, you don't even get the good death. Well, that's
Are there?
what I was about to
Well, are we
say.
sure? Yeah.
There are
Well, we
none.
got to see Pac. Got to see him. We got to see one good Death Rider.
Yeah. I
And
think he's the
then
only one.
no, they got no. But
Wait, you're forgetting
yeah.
well, to start us off, we had Roosh and Champa. Champa? I don't know why I said Champa. Champa in
Same thing.
there, and I wrote, "Oh my God, we get it. You guys can do chops," because that was all they did for the first like 3 minutes.
No, Roosh loves them chops, man. He loves them chops. That's his thing.
And he's just, I don't know, man. I've never seen it with Roosh either, but Champa, he should have at least felt like he had a chance to win this, but I don't think anybody actually put any stock in him winning it because of him losing it so fast to Kyle. You know where he's relegated to. He's just lower mid card, and I don't think he's going to escape that anymore. But yeah,
It's
I
a
thought
shame.
maybe he was a favorite to win it. I'm excited that Kevin Knight won it. I would like to see him, show a little bit more personality.
Yeah, I'm about to say
But
who is Kevin Knight? I don't know. He's a great athlete,
yeah,
but I
we got
don't
a
know
lot of
anything else
those.
about him. Yeah, they do. Yeah, he's young. Uh, yeah, I just don't know anything about Kevin Knight. He
No.
does a pretty good frog splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teams with speedball.
Oh, that takes points away from him.
I mean, not bring that up. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just I did like the decision. I'm always for the youth movement or whatever. Like we need new people, but I just kind of felt like it came at Champa's expense, and maybe we could have got like a small one-off between Kevin Knight and Champa as like a feud, maybe leading into Double or Nothing or something.
Yeah, maybe have Kevin Knight cut a little bit more promos on the lead up of this. Just felt a little random. that he would win the title.
Yeah, especially since I think he had just lost
He always
the
loses.
yeah, well, that too, but he had just lost the trios championship to the dogs, didn't he?
The Dogs. Yeah, I think that did happen. He took the pin twice on that Dynamite a couple weeks ago.
And Speedball's right there.
Well, no, you can't beat Speedball. He's a shoot athlete, pal.
He looks like an adult baby, the way he's built. Something about him. I don't know.
He's got that millennial humor too. I don't like that.
Yeah, no. It is rampant in like all wrestling right now.
Yeah. You can tell he was a theater kid too. Or an anime kid. Probably anime kid, actually.
There's nothing wrong with anime. You just got to know how to go about it.
It had a bad rap when I was growing up. I know it probably doesn't have the same stigma as it used to, but usually stayed away from the guys that did the Naruto run on, during recess.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. There's guys that go about it the right way. There's guys that go about it that way.
Were you one of the guys that showed up
that way?
Were you one of the guys that showed up with the Ben 10 watch? Was that you, Micah?
No, I actually didn't like Ben 10.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I just never got into it.
Okay, all right.
No, that wasn't me, pal.
All right.
As far as the in-ring, I did want to say that Bandito had a really cool 21 plex that broke up a pin. Also, shout out the man Andrade because he made Bandito's finisher look better than it ever has, and so now hopefully that's the permanent way he does it. Because I thought that was a really cool pin breakup.
Yeah, that was pretty innovative.
And following that, also that match went a whopping 21 minutes.
Felt every bit of it. There was times in this match, man, where I don't know, it was just quiet in the arena. Like I said, Death Riders were way too exposed during this match. And like 4 guys in the Death Riders in this match. And at the end, Kevin Knight, I'm pretty sure he threw Speedball out the ring and then took the pin from him. I don't know. So they're sowing seeds for a Speedball, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight feud, which I know everybody wants to see. But yeah, man, if they can just give Kevin Knight some promo time, we can learn a little more about him. I think it is a great decision by them. But until then, I believe when I see it. And yeah, we move on in this marathon of a show, Dynasty.
Well, following that, and I'm sure you were very interested in this next one, the fans in the arena were just raving. For the AEW Women's World Championship, the champion Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Any thoughts, Ryan?
I think Tekla would have been a great TBS champion. I don't know if she was ready for this spot, man. Why? Wouldn't this have been an opportunity to, I don't know, have Willow take over the division since Mercedes left? Or Mercedes, since Tony Storm left, did we have to give the division to Tekla? Do we have to build the division around Tekla? Is that what we need to see, Micah?
As much as I'm a little higher on her than you are.
You're high, all right.
I would much rather see her with the TBS than the world title. Oh, what did I take before the show? Some combination like acetaminophen, Benadryl, something.
All right.
My allergies are going bananas, and the fans were not going bananas, doing everything to not. They gave them the whole seat, but they only needed the edge for this one. Nah, I think this killed the in-ring audience like fully. They were already kind of checked out with the Kevin Knight Well, no, I'm not going to say the Kevin Knight. That's unfair to him. I was just looking at the match list. But the Casino
Just
Gauntlet,
blame
they
it on
kind of
Kevin Knight.
seemed, yeah,
Just
they
bury
kind of
Kevin
seemed
Knight.
checked out, but it wasn't Kevin Knight's fault.
It was Tekla's fault, huh? Yeah, I agree, man. She insists upon herself, Micah. She insists upon herself.
That's actually a good way to explain it.
I'm not a fan of the presentation. I don't like that she's 4'10" and built as a powerhouse. And I just don't like the promos, man. I can't get behind them. And why did what are her jabronis that she links up with? Who are they? What are they called?
The Sisters of
Sisters of
Sin.
Sin. Why did they leave ringside?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Shouldn't your heel want to cheat?
She did cheat.
Yeah, just without him.
So why are they around?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't really stick around for this one. I mean, I watched it. It was in the background, but the fans didn't really care. Respectfully, they've never done anything with Jamie Hayter since returning that has made me care about her, truthfully. And yeah, I mean, it suffers from being too long as well. It should have been shaved down to about 12 minutes. Maybe we could have had something. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest cosigns I could do would be your idea of letting Willow be world champ and building the division around her and letting
It's crazy.
Tekla be the TBS.
It's crazy how Tekla gets like a live mic almost every Collision in Dynamite, but they can't find time to give any of the other ladies a live mic. Like when it wasn't Toni Storm, because she was in that same position, she was the only one that got a mic. When it wasn't her, it was nobody else. Why do they have to build their women's division like that? Boy, I would like to know a little more about Jamie Hayter or I don't know who else you got. Deonna Purrazzo. I would like to see what they have on the microphone. How are you going to build up the characters, the storylines, the promos if you don't let the ladies talk? And that's why the crowd can't get invested in these women's matches at the pay-per-view because the stories are shallow.
Yeah. And you have arguably your current, I will say, since some of the people are off TV, I think your current best women's wrestler in the company is Willow, and she's not on the card.
Bro, just think about the last time they've had an actual women's feud that the crowd cared about. It was Blake Monroe and Toni Storm.
Yeah. Or
That was
maybe
the last.
Tony and Mercedes.
Did the crowd care about that?
I
don't
think
know.
more than most of the women's feuds in AEW.
I don't think they cared about the storyline. I think they cared about the match. They built it up as a dream match. I don't think they cared about the story. But bro, since then, what storyline can you remember of any of the women's feuds they've had over the last year?
Man, I know
Name
Tekla
any
and
story?
Statlander had a feud, but I couldn't really tell you what it
What was the story?
other than just she beat her up.
Okay. Just beat her up. All right.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. In the women's division, that is all it takes.
Well, I'm sure we should probably move on from that, even though
Who won?
Tekla retains as per
Tekla.
usual.
The toxic spider. The drunk auntie, as we call it.
Oh, come on. Speaking of drunks, for the AEW Continental Championship, Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay.
I thought we were at the main event.
Oh, no, pal. We got 3 left.
Oh, God. 3? Jeez. All right.
Initially, I do like opening this match with the hidden blade. I thought it was a cool moment because the crowd went crazy. They were anticipating seeing this match. But then him just like aura farming it for 2 minutes and then hitting another one. Like we're 3 minutes into the match and Moxley's already been hit with 2 finishers. That set the pace for the ridiculousness that was about to go on.
It was a lot of it.
And bell to bell, there were some things I liked. Like at one point, Ospreay hit a springboard. Moxley came at him with an elbow, kind of, knocked his blood. Could be a good match. But to me, you put 2 of the worst people in this company in a ring together, and their flaws were just accentuated because Moxley somehow was the better of the 2, and I'm usually so down on him. But I still just don't know what it is about Moxley, but I don't see what everyone else does. I applaud him for not bleeding in this one, but well, I mean, he bled from the mouth, but not bleeding buckets per se. But like, everybody gives Sami Zayn crap for, oh, he's Sammy Hogan, he's Sammy Hogan. When are we going to start putting Jon Moxley in there? Because the dude never loses. And I'm not necessarily saying that he should have, because I get where they're going with the story with Ospreay. But dude, Moxley is probably the most protected wrestler in that entire company. But you'll never hear anybody call him, Hulk Moxley or anything. But Sami Zayn gets a mid-card title and Sammy Hogan strikes again. Like, I don't understand what kind of blackmail Jon Moxley has on these people.
It's so strange too. After he lost the world title, his booking has just been all over the place. Because it seemed like he was about to turn face, but then he did nothing to make amends for like almost killing Daniel Bryan. And then now he's back to being a heel, and they've completely abandoned the fact that they sowed seeds of the Death Riders, ending. And now Bryan, strangely enough, is having to put him over on commentary like it never happened. Did you notice that in this match? Like, why even have Bryan commentate on Jon Moxley's matches? He put a plastic bag over his face. Tried to kill him. But it's like they just ignored that. How weird is that?
We got a glaze.
How much bro, if somebody put a plastic bag over your head, Micah, are you gonna be singing his praises while he's having a competitive back and forth contest?
No,
I'm his biggest hater at that.
I'm about to say he should be the way Nigel was about Danielson when he commentated his matches.
Or like how Jim Ross was with Triple H in like 2000.
Nobody can match that level of hatred.
But still, though, man, I don't know. It's very odd how they treating Jon Moxley in the last couple months. And it like you said, the Sammy Hogan thing is how they treated Cena in the 2010s. LOL Cena wins, LOL Moxley wins, bro. And why do they have Will? Bro, what how many dangerous things did he take in this match just kicked out of?
Oh man, I got some stats for you actually regarding that.
Yeah, go ahead.
In this match, there were 4 hidden blades hit. By the way, Ospreay lost. Moxley hit 4 paradigm shifts in total.
Oh my god.
One of which was on the outside of the ring early on in the match. And then obviously there's been a spot rolling around online where Moxley hits him with one of the aforementioned paradigm shifts, and Ospreay hops right back up, hits him with a hidden blade, then falls down and sells the match. Or sells the move, I should say. And I just can't understand how people think that like that makes sense. Or is good wrestling, or that Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world right now, and this is just, This is better than anything ever that anyone has ever done. He's better than Shawn Michaels. So this discourse on Twitter has been going on around it, and I apologize, but I've got to call out some of the stupidest things that I've seen about this. One of which being from Matt Kuhn, which I don't know if you guys know who he is just at the mention of his name, but he used to host a podcast with Dax. This guy tweeted the clip of Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania 18 and has the audacity to say, look at these idiots. Hogan no-sells the Rock's finisher. Then the Rock kicks out of his. Bunch of spot monkeys. We are comparing a arguably B-list pay-per-view between Moxley and Ospreay, a B-level pay-per-view match between Moxley and Ospreay to Hogan and Rock. And you want to know why Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest stars in wrestling, hulking up is different than Ospreay standing up and hitting a hidden blade? Come on, man. Like, you just don't understand wrestling at all.
Yeah.
And then I saw another guy talk about how, well, if you just... Well, matter of fact, I'll quote him. It was Dirt Sheet Radio. Dirt Sheet Radio, I guess the guy that runs that, or maybe he's a part of it. I'm not too sure. But he went on some podcast. Well, if you just don't like Will Ospreay doing this, then you deserve Pat McAfee in your main event. You are the problem with professional wrestling and professional wrestling fandom, because this is the tribalist garbage that people point out. This is why we talk about the AEW fan base makes it insufferable to follow AEW, because you see literally like small-brained people online try and tell you that Will Ospreay is better all time than Hulk Hogan. You have people try and tell you that Ospreay doing this means that you should just you deserve the Pat McAfee stuff. No, why can this not be bad and this also be bad? Both things suck. Why do we have to call out one and not call out the other? I can never understand that, because it's the same people that get on here when AEW is having a rough patch and WWE's heating up. Oh, bro, why y'all always got to make it about AEW? Why y'all just always got to dunk on AEW? Same guys will do the same thing.
Just enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
no.
I agree. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And people talk about Ospreay like he's God's gift to professional wrestling, and he stinks. He is Diet Kenny Omega, but worse.
Wow. You're done with him.
Yes, I'm out on Ospreay.
Is the tipping point?
Yes, because the entire... I'm sorry, I'm about to go on another rant here, Ryan, and then I will pass
I'm with it. Let's go.
This is ridiculous. The entire point of this feud and this match is him selling the neck injury. And we talk about it every time with Ospreay, and it gets on my nerves. You have to pull out a 45 ACP and pull the Arn Anderson to beat him, because nothing else does it. It pisses me off to see Jon Moxley, and I wrote it down. Moxley hit a pile driver on steel steps, rolled him back into the ring, hit a curb stomp, and 2 paradigm shifts, and the guy with a surgically repaired neck has the audacity to be in the back and say, well, bruv, I think I should kick out of all that, and then you should actually hit me with the Death Rider, and that'll be the finish, bruv. Bruv, if you don't pack your bags and leave the arena, you stink! You stink, dude! Get him off of my show! Like, I cannot understand it. At least Kenny will sell sometimes. I like Kenny, but Ospreay's got to go, man.
He's becoming, he's in that Young Bucks territory for me, as far as all his matches are starting to look the same too.
Yes.
It's just
Every time.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I started to notice this when that steel cage match he had with Kyle like a year ago, where they did everything to each other and it just wasn't enough. I don't see why anybody would enjoy that type of does it not get tiresome when the 6th and the 7th and the 8th kick out of a finisher when that happens in a match? Do you not get tired of that?
Oh, it's fun. We all know it's fake, so what's the point? What's the point in trying to make anybody think it's real? It looks cool. It's a cool moment when he kicks out of the 8th freaking finisher. Like, I can't understand the brain of him, man. Like, if somebody hit an RKO, like say Randy hits an RKO at the beginning of the match and then hits another RKO right after that, okay, and then comes back later and hits another one. You think Randy Orton isn't going to make that the finish? Can you imagine Undertaker hitting 2 tombstone pile drivers to start the match and that not being the finish or not being a 10-minute match?
Yeah, it's over after that. I don't, bro. People got a lot of smoke for Brock Lesnar doing finisher spam, but are mighty quiet when Will Ospreay has a match.
Yeah. At least with Brock, I can, like, I don't know, man. I can somewhat buy the finisher spam with Brock because it's a heavy, like, with Brock, typically it's going to be a heavyweight bout. And you know it's going to be 10 minutes. This went 18, and that's short for Ospreay. He normally does all this garbage, and it's like 35. And again, I don't give a crap if it is Hulk Hogan in the 80s. I don't give a crap if it's Hulk Hogan, if it's Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, if it's Super Cena at the height of his powers, Stone Cold. There's no way you take a pile driver on steel steps, a curb stomp, which is like a tertiary finisher for Moxley, then 2 of Moxley's finisher and kick out. Just don't even do those moves. There's no point, man. That could have been the finish, and it does nothing more by elongating the match another minute so Moxley can hit him with the Death Rider and pin him. It should have just been the finish, and nobody would have said anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Ospreay was gonna lose this match, why even do all those finishers and have him kick out of it?
Because that is what he does every single time. With Ospreay, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a hidden blade, a sneak hidden blade that pops the crowd. You're going to get that little flip over thing that he turns into a power bomb. You're going to get his back handspring every time that turns into the Oz cutter. You're going to get a finisher. Or actually, you're going to get 4 finishers. Then he's going to kick out of it. Then you're going to get one more finisher to end it off. That is the Ospreay playbook, and he does not deviate.
But you know what, Micah? The mass, like the hypnosis, the pretzels that the fan base had to twist themselves in to justify Moxley winning this match was pretty hilarious too. Because you had people online saying, well, it was never about the title with Ospreay. It's about the journey. It's about the story that they're telling with Ospreay. No, Moxley did not need to win this match, bro.
No, he doesn't need to win half the matches that he does, but he never loses.
But they justify it because it's telling Will's arc, and he's gonna win the Owen, and he's gonna go into Wembley Stadium and win the title against MJF. And I can't wait for that match in Wembley, Micah. The 45-minute finisher kickout fest of epic proportion. This time in a 1/4 empty Wembley Stadium. Can't wait.
And they're just going to be self-pleasuring the entire match. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm out on Ospreay.
Circle jerk.
Like, yes. He's not for me. And if he's for you, I may judge you for it a little bit, but whatever. I don't understand it, and I'm sick of people acting like he is God's gift to professional wrestling.
Better
And
than
the
Shawn
saddest part about this too, he can't lay Shawn Michaels' boots. The people literally will say that like he's better than Hulk Hogan. Hogan couldn't do half of what Ospreay does. Okay, Will Ospreay can't get half of the reaction, the merch sales, be the figurehead, all that Hulk Hogan did. Will Ospreay's never going to be on, everything that Hulk Hogan was in the 80s because he doesn't know when to stop. And the saddest part about Will Ospreay, and I'll move off this soapbox, is the fact that he has implanted the GameStop manager into the New Japan main event scene that is just an Ospreay clone. So it's like when you have that.
Newman to you, pal.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. How much can I get for all these games? Oh, only $5? Dang it. No, the saddest part, and this is, again, last thing. You know, when you went to high school with that idiot that just like, oh my God, like, how can you function in the real, how are you going to function in the real world? And then in like 3 years, you see him at the Walmart or whatever, and you realize that idiot has children, and he is like, his spawn is infecting the rest of the world now.
Oh,
That is Callum Newman.
Tell us how you really feel, Mike.
Yeah. So, anyways, no Will Ospreay for me, pal. I'm sure people get all pissy, whatever. I just don't get it. I'm sure freaking Meltzer will give it 5.5, but I don't know. Maybe it's the Benadryl talking at the moment. But we'll move on. Moxley won in 18 minutes by pinfall after launching subsonic missiles.
Ejaculation all over the ring.
Following that, for the AEW World Trios Championship, we got the Dogs versus the Conglomeration in a match that went 10 minutes.
My God.
After that little opening that they had, I really only stayed here
Can
for
you describe
Connors.
That? Can you describe that for us?
Well,
just run it, because I think the highlight of this match, Micah, was the before of this match. Can you walk us through this?
To start us off, they have some small TV-esque props from a cheap TV set where Orange Cassidy is laid on the couch, and grown man, by the way.
40 years old.
Yeah, Roderick Strong comes up to him and tries to wake him up, and he says, "Mom, 5 more minutes," and rolls over on the couch. Grown man, by the way. Then
40 years old.
Roderick opens the door, and it is a returning Kyle O'Reilly, and the crowd chuckles with glee and cheer as Kyle O'Reilly has returned in the middle of this SNL Mad TV sketch. And Everywhere You Look started playing. Nah, I'm just not the last part.
Oh, come on now. Nah, I would pop for that. But who was that for, Micah? Who was that for exactly?
The Sickos.
Okay. And then the Dogs, they came out.
Yeah. David Finlay embarrassed himself by making Rampage Jackson look like the strongest man on earth because he could not break down that door that they had. He was hitting it over and over again. Finally threw it down.
Deep
My
cut.
guy, yeah. My guy Clark Connors throws the belt on the couch and starts making sweet love to it right there in front of God and everybody. And then your favorite, I couldn't tell you. And I was staying for him because I kind of like him. But your favorite anti-Semite cosplayer, Gabe Kidd, then walks out and
Oh, come on,
pisses
man.
all over the couch. Boy, we're off to a rousing start to start this one off. You can't tell me he doesn't
Symbolic.
look like he would be a white supremacist.
Well, I mean, he fits into the Death Riders. That's why he was such a great addition to that group.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, and Neo Moxley over there.
Neo Moxley's. Oh, yeah. This match was here. Honestly, I had more fun talking about the beginning than I did the match. The conglomeration picked up the win in like 10 minutes. Gabe Kidd, do you know the extent of his injury? You could see he was out of the match within the first like 5 minutes.
Supposedly dislocated shoulder, but yeah, it's crazy, man. You bring these guys in, supposedly a big deal for New Japan. I'll take their word for it because I know nobody that watches New Japan anymore. And they're built up to be a big deal, and then they lose over half of their matches since they've been here. They get soloed by Darby Allin. They win the trios title. That's good, but then they lose it one day after they win the titles, and then the ball neo Nazi Gabe Kidd gets hurt, and yeah, the humiliation ritual continues for the dogs.
But he totally owned the Fed, bro. He totally owned the Fed by going to AEW, bro. What a sick guy, dude. David Finlay said he gave the Fed the middle finger. Take your birthright group and shove it. How'd that work out for you, pal?
Well,
anyways,
welcome to AEW.
Here's 5 losses. Rebuild yourself in Ring of Honor.
But Micah, now we know they can play ball by coming in and losing a bunch. Now we know we can trust them to do the right thing in AEW.
And that sounds like legit logic. And that
is, bro. That's how they justify it.
Oh my god. Like, these same people will say that, and then they're gonna riot on Saturday or on Sunday if Oba loses, which they should. I don't want Oba to lose. Don't take that the wrong way, because I'll be fighting mad if Oba loses to Brock Lesnar. We'll talk about that more later this week. We got another episode coming out Friday. We got the WrestleMania preview. But the same people will be pissed at that. LOL WWE, look, they did the same thing that they always do, and they don't push new stars. But then AEW brings in new talent, and oh, there you go. Clark Connor's the star, though.
Is he?
I like him. Something about him is uniquely charismatic.
The making of love to the title belt did it for you, Micah.
No, I liked him before that, but that I was typing. I'm only staying for this match for Clark Connors, and then
then he starts to dry hump the belt.
Yeah,
and then you deleted what you were typing up.
Yeah, working on his stroke game.
Oh,
but we'll move on to the main event, which was the God of professional wrestling versus the
just called him
devil.
God. They just called him God in the match. I could not believe my ears. Bro, the Excalibur just straight up said, "This is God versus the devil." Well, wow, buddy. A little on the nose there. Okay, all right.
Jesus.
Whatever.
For the AEW World Championship, this match was the main event.
Yeah.
And playing off that, I have enjoyed this feud. Going into this match, I did not know who was going to win, and that was what made it interesting to me, because both guys are big stars, obviously. And I figured that they would go out because I think MJF is one of the best in the world right now. Kenny can turn it on when he wants to. And I thought that this was going to be probably one of the matches of the year. And they started it off with a big presentation. They were, Kenny got the big entrance. MJF got the big entrance. I could use without the upside down cross symbolism because as you said, it's too on the nose. And to me, it's just disrespectful as a Christian man. Like, I don't mind the God versus the devil. Like, play on religion. It's something everybody can grasp. But, like, why is it only this symbol that you're using? He used it for shock value. That's all it was. And it just, I don't know, man. I don't like that kind of thing.
He does that a lot. MJF.
Just shock value.
Yeah. The low hanging fruit.
Like, I don't know. That just didn't feel needed. Like I said, it's not the basis of the feud that bothers me. It's literally just his gear, and that even had to get brought up. Other than that, it literally had nothing to do with like any actual religion. It's just the basis of God versus the devil. That's easy for everyone to understand.
And why does
Regardless
Kenny
of
Omega?
that,
Well,
go
hold up,
ahead.
pause that. Yeah, let's pause that. Why does Kenny Omega have amnesia? Because he claimed in a lot of these build up to these matches, or this match right here, said that he never said that he was the god of professional wrestling. But I remember in promos he used to say that quite frequently. Am I tripping with that, Micah? That's happened, right?
I do feel like I remember him referring to himself as that during the like belt collector early AEW,
Yeah,
but then again,
he
I
said
wasn't
that.
super tapped into it then.
Well, he said it a lot. I don't know about the fans giving me this nickname. Man, get out of here.
He may should have rephrased it and said he didn't crown himself that. Sure, but um one thing that kills me, and this has bothered me for the Omega stuff for a while now, is the announcer's insistence on bringing up the diverticulitis constantly. And then Kenny cuts a promo and he's like, I don't want everyone to just mention it all the time. And I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, I'm not the only one. Like, maybe we've moved past this. And for him to say something like that, I'll be dang if they didn't talk about it for the first 10 minutes of the match. That was all they talked about. The diverticulitis and Kenny not being 100% and he could still be hurting. And MJF's going to target it. Like, oh my God, dude.
And it's crazy because they hardly ever bring that up with Brock Lesnar. Like it rarely gets brought up, and it never really bothers him. So why should it bother Omega? I've seen him kick out of 1,000 things.
Well,
Are we
not
sure
only that, but
diverticulitis gonna keep him down?
like how many guys, I don't know, like again, they always bring up the neck with Edge or something like that, but it's usually like a one-off. It's like, oh well, the surgically repaired neck of Edge, or well, they didn't talk.
The
I
neck,
guess they did talk about Ospreay's, but
yeah, they
apparently it
did.
didn't matter.
Or Daniel Bryan when he during his last run with AEW, they always bring up the neck or the history of seizures or something to that effect.
But like eventually I just get sick of it, man. Like it can be a passing comment, but it doesn't need to be 5 to 10 minutes of discourse. Like, okay, I get it. He has diverticulitis. One spot that you brought up to me, Ryan, I thought you may want to talk about a little more in depth was the poison Rana that MJF hit, and then he turned that into a Canadian destroyer quickly after. And then Kenny, after receiving both of those moves, hits a V trigger and they both fall down.
Well, we've talked about it, man. The no sell, the kickouts, the big moves. I are we surprised at this point? This is how the style is in AEW. It probably would have felt a little more impactful if we didn't just see that with Ospreay and Moxley.
Well, I also saved the same opinion that because I remember when was it Swerve like no sold the Busaiku knee that Danielson does. I can buy you in the main event. I can get that for the world title, like, and that's why this didn't make me as mad when I saw it because yes, it's for the world title. Like it is a little ridiculous, but also I don't think Kenny just does this in every single match. At least, I mean, yes, he's done it before, but I don't know. It didn't bother me in this instance as much because of the stakes of the match. But with Moxley versus Ospreay, it's just it's like for a mid-card belt, it was a 20-minute match. This was 40 minutes. So,
God, felt like it. I prefer their 2023 version, honestly.
yeah, I felt like it was better. It was cleaner. To me,
Yeah,
this match never got out of second gear. Maybe a
and
little bit, but
that's crazy too because it went on so long. But you're right, it didn't. It didn't really live up to the expectations.
yeah. Because like I said, I was expecting like match of the year candidate. And
Yeah, just didn't get that.
this is not what I felt at all.
The top rope one winged angel was cool, but they
Yeah.
telegraphed that he was going to kick out by by Omega taking 3 minutes to walk over there and try to cover MJF.
No, he didn't even kick out of it. He just
Oh, he
rolled
just
out of the
rolled out the
ring.
ring. Yeah,
Well,
and at that point, you knew MJF was going to win this match.
yeah, once that happened, I knew it was locked up. But I will admit, it was a good spot because you could tell the fans in the arena were like, oh my God, because nobody kicks out of the one winged angels. So when Kenny hit it, that's the kill shot. And I think it was a
The,
good fake for the live audience and for myself watching it.
how did you feel about the finish here? It felt like they did a little too much here. And if we would have shaved maybe 15 minutes off this match and not did all that at the end, I think it could have worked. But what did you think about the finish here, Micah? Do you remember? You jog your memory a little bit?
No, I remember it. I just think that it was a little overbooked. And I don't think it's even so much their fault, but the ref bump finish, I'm so sick of because I feel
It's
like we see it all the time.
MJF's main event matches legit turn into Jeff Jarrett main event matches because it seemed like there's a rev bump in all of his main event matches.
And I think that also plays off of what we were talking about earlier, where nobody wants to lose clean.
Yeah. Well, heels are supposed to cheat, but I don't think you needed to cheat this much in the match. Like we got a ring shot, we got the ref bump, we got a table imploding. Did we need all three of those things? I mean, if you're a heel, man, just use one of those. We don't need all three.
Yeah. I think they just shouldn't have taken the ring out in the beginning, and then MJF saves it at the last
Or use a
minute,
tape.
hits him with the with the ring and the gut, and then goes from there. But it's still an excuse, but it's not. Let me dig in the ref's pocket for 3 minutes while I can see him picking his leg up because the ring is under his leg that I can't get to. Like it was overbooked and overcomplicated.
Or
And I think
a,
it weighed down an underwhelming match.
a tombstone through a table too is insane.
At least he didn't kick out. It wouldn't have. That was,
What did we
that's a
need
walk
that?
in the park to Osprey.
Yeah. He would have kicked out of that one. But did we need a tombstone through a table?
I mean, no, but I won't say that we needed it. But
Can
at
we just get
least
the ring
the
shot and
match
that's
didn't
it?
go on for another 15 minutes after the fact.
But the last thing this singles match needed was a tape. I don't know, man. Maybe we're just nitpicking, but it, in my opinion, it went on way too long, and the ending was way too overbooked. And for my taste, it didn't get out of second gear, so it was a little too slow for me. I prefer the 23 match. And yeah, this MJF retains and the march to Wembley Stadium continues, I guess.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I
Will we?
legitimately like I'm not gonna say because there's nothing insulting on this show. It's
It
just
just kind of
all
happened.
here.
Yeah, it just
Well,
happened.
I take that back. The Ospreay stuff is insulting, but it just felt very paint by the numbers to me. Um,
If
especially
you
when you
missed it,
compare like the last Revolution or the last pay-per-view. I mean, it was longer, but like at least the MJF Hangman match, like you'll remember that. You know what I mean? It also had that what was the match that we liked on there?
the
Nana, not
Andrade
Nana. Yeah,
Andrade match,
Andrade versus Bandito
Bandito.
was good.
Yeah.
But this, like, there's nothing I walk away from and I'm like, yep, I'm glad I watched this. Like, it just happened.
I thought Darby and Andrade was okay. I thought that was pretty good.
Probably the best of the night, but
Not
I
saying
didn't really
much.
like the ending, and I didn't really think that it just blew me away. I will say this, at least the show was a little bit shorter than normal. On this one, we only had three matches go over 20 minutes. And when you compare that to Revolution, I think every match went over 20 minutes except for the ladies' matches. No, they
Oh,
all
cool.
went over 15 except for the ladies' matches.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. If you missed this pay per view, you didn't miss much. Just watch a little highlight video, 10 minutes on YouTube. You'll be fine. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say about this show, man. It could have been an
Well,
email.
yeah. That's probably the best way to me to describe it. What would you rate this out of 10, Ryan, so we can keep a
Did we
fair
give it a dud?
well, we
Did we
did
give a
last
dud
year.
here? Did we give it a dud? Okay, well, let's go 2 in a row. Let's give it a dud, man. I I wish I could get those 4.5 hours back.
Yeah.
I
Was it
just,
four and a half? It was 4.5. I thought it was only 4.
yeah, 4.5, way too long. And I did not walk away from this event thinking, wow, I can't wait to watch Dynamite on Wednesday.
No. And I was kind of anticipating because I've liked the past couple TVs that they've done, but this to me just did not really follow up on that.
No.
Uh I think I'm gonna give this like I think I'll give it a 4, maybe a
Okay.
4.5. I gave Elimination Chamber a 4 because it was a lot of the same. It was just this could have been sent in an email, but I did like the Punk Balor match on that show, and Punk got the cool reaction and or not cool, but the cool entrance and everything. So I guess like for this one, I mean, you got the Darby Andrade match, but yeah, I think I'm gonna stick it out of 4. I just don't really care about anything that happened. I don't think I'll ever go back and watch anything that happened. It was just simply there.
It's just there. I hate that this is supposed to be, man, this is supposed to be our Christmas time of the year as a wrestling fan. March, April, May, all that, it's WrestleMania season. And I don't know, man. AEW ain't doing it for me. The WrestleMania build went off the rails. I don't know. We'll see. I'm ready. I'm ready to get off the road, Micah. Let's get to our destination.
We need a pit stop. We gotta stop at the Busy Bee.
Yeah, I need an energy drink, man.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, we're still not at our destination yet. So take you a pit stop and come back with us Friday. We're gonna have our WrestleMania preview, a Raw review, our predictions, and then maybe we're gonna do a little extra rundown, kind of breaking down what we think is gonna happen at WrestleMania, but maybe some of the launching points coming out of WrestleMania as well. Maybe what the next few months looks like in WWE. We hope you had a good time. Make sure to take care of yourself. Pace yourself this week. There's a lot of wrestling. And come join us this weekend. We've got a TikTok live going for WrestleMania. weekend. We'll be live both nights. So come hang out with us. Come enjoy. Take care of yourself and have a good one.